I love my Honda CB500X. CB500 2020. I want to talk to you about how I feel this motorcycle. I have on my clock 11,000 miles. This is about close to 18,000 kilometers. And I don't want to talk about the specifications. You can see those specifications everywhere, all over the YouTube and internet. Like that there is a 19-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear wheel, just one front disc and this and that, and the height and the tank capacity and all these things. No, I'm gonna tell you how I feel with this motorcycle. The funny thing here I can say is that I was not on the market for this motorcycle. I wanted to buy Suzuki V-Strom 650, but you know, all these COVID situations are not easy for the people and for the market, and there were not many pieces of this Suzuki around me, and I started going to the dealerships just to see what they have. And what happened was I went to a dealership and I wanted to see how tall KTM 790 is. They have that one, but at one point the guy just told me, just go and try this one. And I was, what is this? Honda CB500X. I didn't know what exactly means that. I've never not heard about the motorcycle, but it was a way of my ideas of a motorcycle that I will have in my garage. But a couple hours later, I just left this dealership with the CB500X 2020, and for 1 year, as I said, I have 11,000 miles on it, and I'm extremely happy. First, I want to say something about the seat height. That's not pretty high, pretty tall motorcycle, but if you don't have an experience with adventure motorcycles, that's going to be a challenge for you at the beginning. Let's say that I'm a vertically challenged person, and my inseam is about 28.5, 29 inches. And this motorcycle at the beginning was wow. I didn't know how to ride it. I was a little nervous, but I can say that it took me like just a couple days, and I learned how to stop on the traffic lights. I learned how to mount or dismount the motorcycle. It's not easy, but now I really love it. I mean, so many people decided to lower the motorcycle. Don't do that. Just don't do that. This is going to change the geometry of the motorcycle, and it's not good, especially if you go off-road. Just don't do that. But I really feel good on this seat. And you have two positions, of course. One is the sitting position, the other one is a standing position. The seat is not the most comfortable, but I can say that it's pretty good for me. It fits me really nice. In the sitting position, standing position, I can say that I feel good, but this is not just because of the seat. This is because of the handlebar and one thing that I did on this motorcycle. I replaced the stock pegs with reveiw pegs. Let me show you this. Right over here, as you can see, these are reveiw pegs. The idea to get this type of motorcycle to me was because I wanted to commute with this motorcycle, but sometimes I wanted to go a little off-road. And I don't know what the other people expect from CB500X, but I can say that this bike is pretty good going off-road. Okay, that's not a dirt bike, but I put a couple things on it, and I can tell you and I can verify that I went to 2,000 miles trip and half of it was dirt roads, and this bike did it well. This bike made me so happy, extremely happy. But let me show you what exactly I did to this motorcycle in order to be prepared for off-road. As I showed you, the first thing is the pegs. These are reveiw. They're so comfortable. Sometimes, probably to me at least, they're a little wider than I needed to be, but I cannot complain. It was very easy to stand up and just go over the obstacles and maneuver with a motorcycle. The other thing from reveiw again is this skid plate. You see, right over here. My motorcycle went down 3 times on this trip, and this reveiw skid plate, you have here like a engine guards, protected my motorcycle really well. Here you have guard right over here for the oil filter, and this skid plate is so sturdy, but right now underneath there is a lot of dents. But when the motorcycle actually falls down, it hits right over here. You can see those scratches. Yeah, right over here. It hits right over here, and it comes right here on my backs. And I have a soft backs, and these are the 3 points when your motorcycle will hit the ground. But those things are very good. Okay, let me finish with the upgrades that I did. Of course, bark busters. These are the ones. Just don't go with something different than that, because they're bulletproof. They're so nice. Look at that. The funny thing is that my motorcycle went down 3 times only on this right side. As I told you, here, down there, right over here, and here where the back is. But yeah, oh, and very important thing, the last upgrade that I did is right over here, the fork. Again, reveiw level 1, but you know what, I just decided to go with a fork. I decided not to spend money on the rear shock. The rear shock, it needs to be replaced, because I'm not a skinny guy. I'm 220, but I can tell you, it's still okay. It's still okay. I had a 60 pounds of luggage on my motorcycle. It did pretty well on the highway, but at the same time it did pretty well on the off-road stuff. And the last thing that you need for off-road, it's good tires. These are not very good now. I have to replace them because as you can see, almost nothing left on them. These tires are TKC 80, and I recommend. I really recommend. And the last upgrade that I had, this was not related to off-road, is this. The stock horn is so weak, and I installed this. As you can see, it doesn't line up perfectly, but I don't care about that. I do care about the sound that's going out of it. and it sounds pretty much like a car right now, and I'm really happy with that thing. Let me talk about the clutch and the gears. I can tell you a lot of things about that, but let me just tell you a very simple story. I had some friends, and one of them has a Triumph 1200. The other guy has a big Ducati, and we start talking something about the clutches, and I told them how easy my clutch is. They were like, yeah, no way, you have a cheap bike, our bike costs like thousands and thousands of dollars, this and that. I said, okay, come over and just squeeze the clutch. Both of them came. They tried the clutch, and their reaction was, no, probably you disengaged the clutch, probably the cable is off. I said, no, everything works perfectly. And they was like, that's not possible, that this clutch is so easy. I said, yes, it is. And I tried their motorcycles. It was so hard. This slippery clutch with these six gears that you have on this motorcycle is so helpful. All right, I can say that the first gear, it's extremely short, very short, but it gives you a power, and especially in the traffic, because I commute every day with this motorcycle, it gives me a chance to go in front of the traffic, because as you probably know, in the big cities they always try to cut you off, and I need to go really fast at the beginning of the traffic light. So many people decided to change the front sprocket from 15 to 16 tooth front sprocket, and all of them, they say that if you go on the highway, this is going to help you a lot, because the motorcycle will not rev that much, and it affects gas consumption. I'm not on this stage right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do next year, because I have some plans to go to Alaska, and like 99% of the time I'll be on the highway, but there is tons of mosquitoes here. But I don't know yet. One thing I have to mention, that the fork and the rear shock, you cannot adjust them. You can like set up just the sack and that's it. But you know, for such a budget bike, that's enough. And especially when I replace the stock springs with the rally raid springs, and I don't know what to tell you. There is a tons of information regarding this rally raid upgrade. Everybody says that there is a crazy difference between the stock suspension and the rally raid suspension. My opinion is a little different. There is a difference, yes, but there is not a crazy difference. The good thing is that actually the springs that I have, they're the strongest one that rally raid has, and I have them because I'm not a skinny guy. That's why I decided to go with them. But if you want to go off-road, probably that's the best bet for you. That's the best company. You can use their products. But as I said, the only thing you can do is just to set the sack. That's it. Ground clearance and brakes. As I said, you can see all these numbers everywhere, all over the internet. But what is more important to me is that I went off-road. I hit a lot of stones, and I have some dents right over here on my skid plate. The most important part is that I'm really happy with the brakes. I'm really happy with the ground clearance. I'm really happy with the motorcycle itself, because I went off-road. As I said, I commute every day and everything works perfect. Of course, if you go often off-road, you're gonna need more clearance because it's gonna be way easier to go over the obstacles. But here I can say that 19-inch front wheel helps a lot, because I went to a couple, they call them expert sections, just to see what exactly is going on. And believe me or not, over there was tons of stones and was like crazy. There was a two GSs stuck in the middle. I just went downhill all over all the stones. Okay, I was hit by a couple of stones here and there, but everything was so nice. That means brakes, ground clearance works for me perfect. Let me continue with the engine. The engine is not that powerful. You cannot expect something like a Africa Twin or a BMW GS or Tenere, if you want, the Yamaha Tenere 700. No, it has 48 horsepower, but first of all, there is enough torque for off-road. I'm really happy and surprised to see how this small bike handles off-road, hills, downhills. It was amazing. And if you go on the highway with a rider that it's 220 pounds and 60 pounds of luggage with 75 or 80 miles per hour, what do you think? This is not enough? At least for me, that's enough. Okay, if you, let's say, want to pass a car or a bus with that speed, it's gonna be a challenge for you, because you give it a gas and the motorcycle, the engine start revving, but everything goes slow on that speed. If you're like with the 50 miles an hour, and if you go with fourth gear, everything will be fine. Believe me, this motorcycle is capable on the highway and on the small backcountry roads. Fuel consumption. As you can see right now, it says 55.7 miles per gallon. Let me show you. It's 10,939 miles. You saw that the fuel consumption is 55.7 miles per gallon. There is a people that they say 80 miles a gallon, 75 miles a gallon. Believe or not, it's very, very, very weird to me, but when I use the Novi tires, it takes more gas. I don't know why. When I go with the street tires, it's not going to be 55.7, but it's going to be something like, I don't know, 58 to 62 maximum. And there is a very good guy. I really like that guy. He's a German. He has CB500X, and he bought the Tenere 700, and after that he went back to CB500X, and he was saying like crazy consumption, like 80 miles per gallon, and I was just joking that I have to push my motorcycle in order to have such a consumption. For me, that's not possible to have something like this, because as I told you, I gotta beat the traffic, and it's not easy to go that way with that consumption. But comparing to, because I ride with some friends sometimes, and I see what is their consumption, and I can tell you, I'm pretty happy with the consumption on this motorcycle. Pretty happy, because the other guys that they have, I told you, this Triumph and the Ducati and the different motorcycles, their motorcycles probably take more than 30% more comparing to the CB500 2020 that I have. And the other thing that is very, very important to me is what is the cost touring the motorcycle? How much you spend, like for oil change, for brakes, for cleaning, for spare parts, for all these extra things that that we don't think when we get our machines. And let me tell you this, comparing to the other motorcycles around me, I'm blessed. My motorcycle takes not much effort to be fixed, first, and second, I don't pay a lot for all these things. Okay, I cannot touch it myself, not because I don't want to do that or because I don't know how to do that, but because this motorcycle, I bought it brand new last year, and if I start doing something with my hands on my motorcycle, the warranty will be, guess what, avoided. And I don't want to do that. I just want to keep the warranty, if I can use the word, alive, in place. But that's why, I mean, right now I gotta go and change the oil. That's a procedure that is very easy, very simple, very fast. But they told me that I have to take off my skid plate in order to change the oil. What is the problem, people, with this? You have total 4 screws. It's so easy. It's so easy. But okay, that's a different story. But yes, I'm so happy with this motorcycle. It's reliable. Okay, everybody knows Honda. Everybody, you know what they say? They say that Honda doesn't sell motorcycles. Honda sells engines. And this engine will be with you and right next to you in a good shape all your life. And I believe that this is true. I love my Honda CB500X. And let me tell you this. Go and try one. Go get one. Go ride one. You'll be happy. You'll be happy. One more time. You'll be happy.